maximum benefit when you need it, with the least amount of harm. So all we need to do is to keep investing into this insurance. Each one of us actually, isn't it? All of us buy insurance. And when we actually need it, it comes back. And Swami says God's grace is like an unlimited insurance cover. It simply flows bountiful and limitless when we need it. I'm just reminded when I hear Sister Pooja saying, it was in 2005 in Guru Purnima, 2004 Guru Purnima, when the last sentence that Swami said was, don't ask God for anything. Ask God only for one thing. And what is that? That we love Him more and more each day. And as I was thinking about this, I said, Swami, how is it that we cannot ask you for anything? The idea and the understanding that I got was, most of the times, we don't even know what we want. If we fully believe that what the Lord has in store for us is the best and that is what He is going to give, then isn't that what we want? So Swami said, ask only for love. And here I would just like to narrate a very small experience. It's not an experience, but an anecdote. My grandmother used to suffer from, she had about 6 paralytic attacks. And her entire body was crippled. And she had almost become, she was a living vegetable at home. And her condition had become so gory that one would simply look at her and shed tears. She couldn't speak. With all the pain that she had, for example, just to give you a small, the state of her condition, her hands were crippled and she couldn't open out her fingers and her nails would grow into her skin. And if one wanted to cut out those nails, they had to open, and every time the hand opened, all her fingers broke. Because the fingers were not supposed to open. And she could not speak, and therefore she couldn't even tell us about the pain that she was going through. And when I would see my grandmother like that, I would say, Swami, what are you doing? Just take her away, take her away. Whatever karma that she has got, shift it over to the next birth. This one soul, how much can she tolerate? Was what I used to pray. Until one day when I heard that a great master had come home and had told, looking at my grandmother, many years before she got the paralytic attack, this master had told that this lady will not have another birth and that she needs to go through a lot in this birth. And now I was just thinking when I heard this, and in fact even in one of the interviews after a couple of paralytic attacks my grandmother had, in one of the interviews Swami had just passed his hand over her suffering hand and told, I will give you strength, I will give you strength, don't worry Amma. And now when I look back at this and I wonder, just imagine if my grandmother would have heard my prayer. If my grandmother would have heard my prayer, I asking Swami to shift it over to the next birth, what would she have done? She would have come and slapped me. This is my last birth, I am going to get liberated after this, and you are asking that I should have another birth. I don't want another birth. If this is what is necessary for me to suffer in this birth, and once for all finish the cycle of birth and death, so be it. That is the best thing, isn't it? And that is when it struck to me that probably I don't even know what I should be asking for. Here I was praying to Swami to shift all this karma into the next birth, and here was my grandmother getting the most ultimate reward. And therefore Swami says, if there is one thing that we need to ask, let it be only love, and let it be only from God, because only permanent things can give permanent solutions. The Lord is permanent, and so the love with Him only can be permanent.
And therefore, keep building on this relationship with God. I remember one thing that our physics teacher used to say very often, whenever we get any kind of trouble or hardship, we always say, Swami, why is this happening? Why can't it be better this way? He used to ask us, you think you're wiser than Swami? Because that's what we always do. Swami, you can take care of the world, you can take care of everything. but when it comes to my problem, I feel, I know better than you. Just listen to me and it's good. So he used to ask us two questions. He used to say, if you feel that bad is happening to you, that means one of the two are true. What is the first statement? The first statement is, my God is powerless. He can't do anything. He can do nothing. Good for nothing. But then you say, no. Sir, no sir. Swami is very powerful. My Swami is very strong. My Lord is the most powerful in the universe. He says, okay, your Lord is the most powerful and still bad is happening to you. Then maybe your Lord doesn't love you. So he has the power to stop bad happening to you, but he doesn't care about you. Go, let anything happen to you. And you say, no sir, my Swami loves me the most. Because all of us have had experiences like that, right? Where we are convinced that Swami loves us so much. We say, no sir, Swami loves me so much. So if Swami loves you the most, and if Swami is the most powerful, then maybe the bad that you're thinking is happening to you is not bad for you. Maybe it's good for you, that's why. He has all the power to stop things. He has all the love for you, and yet something is happening to you means he's doing it out of his love for you.
Exactly. It is Swami gives the example of a father who's teaching his child to cycle. Unless the father lets go, the child is not going to be able to balance. And therefore the father has to allow the child to fall a couple of times. And it is only at one point of time when you know that he is holding behind and you're cycling and suddenly he lets go, and then you start to cycle on your own, and the happiest person over there is the father, to see his son balance.
The beautiful thing is, all the while when you're balancing, you're having that feeling that, my father is holding. My father is there to hold. And then the father says, see, you don't need me. You're doing it. Because I remember once when I was so troubled, I saw Swami coming in the car. I got up and said, Swami, please help me. I was going mad with a million thoughts in my head. Now I've managed to reduce it to about 1,000. But, well, a million thoughts is too much to handle. And I said, Swami, please help me. Swami said, what happened? I said, Swami, I'm not able to control my mind, please. Swami said, your mind you want me to control? I said, yeah. Swami said, no, you can control it. So I saw Swami's car was moving away. I said, yes Swami, okay, I'll control it, but please give me the strength that I already have given. I've already given. Just put your effort, it will happen. We just have to start putting in our efforts. And God is there to help us at each step of our journey. One small anecdote is a personal experience. I always used to pray, Swami, whatever happens, don't let go of my hand. Swami, whatever happens, don't leave my hand. Swami, whatever happens, don't leave my hand. I used to write this in letters to him. And Swami is not accepting this letter, and I used to wonder, why is Swami doing this? I have not asked anything material, I have not asked anything stupid. I am asking the greatest, right? I am asking Swami, never let go of my hand. That night Swami comes in my dream and says, you are writing stupid things in your letter. I said, Swami, what did I write? Swami says, remember, I will never let go of your hand. You ensure that you don't let go of my hand. So the next day onwards, I stroke off the letter and started writing, Swami, please ensure that I never leave your hand. Swami, please ensure that I never leave your hand. See, that is how relationship and friendship with God helps us evolve automatically. As and when we are ready, He promotes us, uplifts us.
In fact, I'm reminded of one experience, a little different kind of experience. There are often times that a student goes through when Swami just switches off with you. He just does not talk to you. And it is called a moment of out of form. Okay, you're not in form. And so here was a boy whom Swami used to speak to a lot. And suddenly Swami switched off. He wouldn't speak to this boy. And this boy would do all sorts of things. That is the beauty of Swami. If he does not want to see you, you may do gymnastics in front of him. He will not see you. He can see through you. You become a furniture piece. When he does not want. And even if there are times when you don't want him to see you, and he will know exactly where you are sitting. And he will come and he will hunt you out over there. So there was this boy who was going through this point in time where Swami was absolutely not speaking to him. And it was few months before he just couldn't bear it anymore, and one day he wrote in his letter, Swami, don't torture me like this. Don't torture me like this. And that was the letter which Swami took after several months. Swami opened the letter and started reading it. And then Swami says, do you know the meaning of what you have written? So now he was taken aback, because what had he written? And he says, do you know what is the meaning of torture? Do you know what is the meaning of torture? Anyone here? And then Swami goes on to say, the meaning of torture is one person causing harm to the other and enjoying it himself. And then Swami says, do you think that when I am not talking to you, that I am enjoying it? It is for your benefit that even I am ready to take upon myself this pain of not talking to you. But it is necessary that I do not talk. And it is not that I enjoy. I don't enjoy this separation with you. In fact, he has come down for that very reason. That we all embrace each other and all of us embrace him. And we realize our oneness with him. Because separation is what is torture for Swami. Oneness is what is joy and bliss for Swami.
One more wonderful advantage, if I can say so. I'm trying to market a relationship with God, and therefore, one advantage of having God as the best friend or as the best relation is that, we often say that he has friends in high places. This is going to be a friend in the highest place because he's beyond space and beyond time. One small episode. There is this colleague of mine who works at the Prashanti Nilayam stores, and once in the year 2000 or 1999, I do not exactly remember, Swami had called him for an interview, and in the interview had materialized a watch for him. And here you see Swami's way, the way he acts. He materialized a watch for him, and then he tells him to wear it and says, oh, the watch is loose, right? So, here, take 1,000 rupees, go get it repaired. A person, the Lord has materialized a watch, but gives 1,000 rupees for repairs. He says, get the strap adjusted, here's 1,000 rupees. And gives 1,000 rupees. That's huge. It costs about 50 to 20 rupees for the repairs. So this boy decides that I will pocket this 1,000 rupees, I'll never use it, because this is what Swami has given me. I'll get the watch repaired anyway. So that's what he does. He gets the watch repaired and he comes back. And then when he gets to his room, this is in Vrindavan, Whitefield, to his shock and horror, the 1,000 rupees, 500 rupee notes are gone. They're gone. He just doesn't know where they are. He searches everywhere. All this he has done to save that 1,000 rupees and it's gone now. So Swami comes during that. She writes a letter. He decides to give it to Swami. Brother Amey spoke about out of form. This guy was in form. So he wrote it down in a letter. Swami, the 1,000 rupees you gave me was gone. And Swami comes to him. He gets up, gives the letter. He also tells Swami. He says, Swami, the 1,000 rupees that you gave me, Swami, I lost it. Swami said, no, you didn't lose it. You gave it to your wife. Swami, I lost it, Swami. Swami walks away. That's all. He thought, what a joke, Swami keeps telling. He says, did you have food? No. Why? You are missing your wife. Sometimes, Swami says like this. But, no word of Swami is in jest. I met this brother 1 year back. He narrated something that, just stunned me into silence. He narrated this. He got married, He got married 2 years back. And after marriage, he's telling his wife about all his different experiences with Swami. The wife is also a devotee and she's enjoying it. And when she asked him about, tell me some, times when Swami joked with you. He said, one Swami had joked with me about my wife also. And he narrated this. And she had a stunned expression on her face. She opens up her diary and shows him, what? Exactly on that day, there has been a bank strike. So what's the big deal? The big deal is, on that bank strike day, she has wanted to travel back home. She's doing her course in dentistry and she wants to go home in Hyderabad. She has suddenly opens her wallet and finds no money there. She's unable to go to the banks, the ATMs, everything is shut. She's just wondering what to do. She says, Swami, this is 1-2 days I'm getting to go home and now what a stupid thing, I have not got withdrawn money. What a reason for not going home. And then she says, I opened my purse and found 2 crisp 500 rupee notes there. I booked my ticket and went to Hyderabad. And this was in 2000. And the boy got to know the girl only in 2010. 10 years before, and Swami had said, you know, no, you didn't lose those 500 rupee notes. You gave them to your wife. See, that is the kind of power and grandeur and love. Swami doesn't do this as a show of his power. He does this so that we realize whom we are staying with, whom we are seeking. Because there can be nothing better in life than seeking Swami.
And talking about letters, here's my experience. So I used to give only one letter to Swami every year. I used to be in that school of thought which used to wonder, because oftentimes in primary school, Swami used to keep telling us, and even in college, Swami used to keep telling us, why do you boys have to write letters? 75% of my time I'm spending with you, and then also you give me letters. I have to read so many letters of so many devotees. So I used to be, one of those boys who used to think, Swami, I'm not going to burden you with my letters. Okay, here's a quick one more experience which comes to my mind. It was after my MBA, I was waiting for Swami to give me an instruction as to what I am supposed to do. And though Swami had told me to do my PhD, the PhD proposal was just not moving ahead. So every now and then, every couple of days, I used to go and ask the registrar, what happens, sir? Any progress with? And he says, don't press me. Swami is busy now. It's going to take a while. And it was about 4 months before we got this confirmation. And those 4 months used to be very, very terrible times for us, because Swami would spend all the time with the boys and we would be simply waiting. We were called waiting boys. In fact, boys who wait for Swami's instructions are called waiting boys. So we were these waiting boys who used to keep seeing all the fun which is happening and used to wonder, we also can be a part of that only if this application would go ahead. And so it was one of those times when I used to work in radio side, because I didn't have anything else to do, morning, evening, just attend bhajans. And one day I started to weep because nothing was happening and Swami was not telling me anything. I simply, one night as I wept, I said, Swami, if you think that my life is too complicated for you to handle, leave it to me. Okay, I will handle it. You look after the entire world, no issues. But at least tell me that you can't handle it. At least give me a signal which tells me that, boss, I've got so much of work to do, you just take care of yourself. And believe me, I said, Swami, I don't think I'll mess up my life big time. I'll keep coming back to you here now and then, but I will look after my life. These are the thoughts in my life. At least tell me, I will go. Here I am sitting doing nothing. I'm waiting every single day and there's nothing happening. And as I was thinking, the next morning I attended bhajans and I went back to radio side, and my job was actually to listen to Bhagwan's discourses and pick out keywords of what Swami was speaking in every 3-minute sequence. So in the first 3 minutes, what were the keywords? The next 3 minutes. And I am hearing this particular discourse given on 6th of June 1993, in which Swami, 26th of May 1993, in which Swami starts to tell like this. I am hearing this on my headphones. People think, is God capable of looking after their life? In the audio tape. 1993. People ask, is God capable of looking after my life or your life? And then Swami says, give God one chance and He will show you what He can do with your life. Give God, and Swami is begging in the discourse, please give me one chance and I will tell you what I can do with your life. And even as I heard these words, tears simply rolled down my cheeks, because that is what I had prayed for. And of course, after that there was been absolutely no looking back. Exactly a week later, our applications went through and I joined for my PhD program.
Yeah, Brother Amey has got one letter episode on standby, because when he said this discourse, I am reminded, maybe not directly in relation to the topic, but there was a time when I felt that, Swami, my life is stagnating. I came to you as my spiritual master and I don't know what I thought, maybe in 5 years I'll have a halo around my head, I'll be levitating. I don't know what I thought, but I just felt, Swami, my life is stagnant. I'm doing bhajans, I'm doing all the prayers, I'm doing everything, I'm involving myself in everything, but nothing seems to be happening. And so I started, foolishness, started reading, books by other masters. It's, Swami says, when you dig a well, dig deep in one place, because everybody gives the same message. And then I came across the life of Ramana Maharshi, where, he gets an amazing experience of his life. How? By lying down and saying, I am not the body. I am not the body, and therefore, since I am not the body, I do not need my breath. My body needs my breath. I don't need my breath. And he holds his breath for so long that he becomes like a dead body. And that is when he realizes his reality. I thought this is something cool to try out. And at night, when I would sleep, when all the lights are off, I would take a breath and hold it. I'm not the body, I'm not the body. Means I want to progress spiritually. I want to progress spiritually, and I hold my breath and say, I'm not the body, I'm not the body, I'm not the body. And then I stopped saying that I'm not the body, because when you say, you lose breath. So I just kept thinking in my mind, I'm not the body. And over the next 1 month, my lung capacity increased from 1 minute to 1 minute 15 seconds. That's all. Nothing else happened. And I said, Swami, I'm stagnating. What is this, Swami? I'm trying to be spiritual, but you're not helping me. That same evening, Swami begins his discourse with a poem which says, people hold their breath at night and think it is spirituality. He's talking, I patted the boy next to me, hey, he's talking to me. He's talking to me. He's just looking at me. What? The thing is, in the discourse, Swami went on to say, I will tell you what spirituality is. If you really want to have that ultimate experience, start living the experience. The experience that everything is God. Whomever you meet, treat them like God. Whomever you speak to, treat them like God. And this is another experience that all the three of us got to experience today morning, when we went for the Seva activity of building that home. The love that united everybody, there were people of different religions. The tears, when I sat there, they were called the beneficiary family. I really did not know who is the beneficiary there. Whether the family, me, or the people working, because everybody were benefited in some way or the other. Each person who spoke there for 3-4 statements made such an impact. And that lady who received the home supposedly, I had never met her all my life. I have not seen her. I am seeing her for the first time. And I am trying to control my tears because the whole activity has touched me so much. She's also controlling her tears because the activity has touched her so much. And then I am unable to control, a tear comes down my eye. She's unable to control, a tear comes down from her eye. Our eyes meet for a moment. And though both of us are crying, I just smile and she also smiles. And we have understood everything completely. This kind of understanding, love, bonding is possible only with Swami, only with God. And that is why Swami says, you want to live spirituality, then start living it. Start living it by seeing God in everyone. See the same love. Help others not because you have to help them. Help others because their pain is like pain for you. Because you and they are one. Teach others not because they are ignorant and you are wise. Teach others because their lack is what you feel as a lack in you. You feel complete when you are able to tell something. Everything you do, do it treating everyone as God. And to start off with, to do this again, it comes back to building our relationship with Swami.
In fact, that is the note that I also wanted to, and this is Swami's magic. So let me just quickly finish this experience of mine, because that is exactly what I wanted to tell at the end, which Brother Aravind has already spoken about. So there was this one, it's a beautiful, this is how Swami talks, this is how Swami is here, is present very much. So I wanted to give this letter to Swami, and I used to give only one letter per year, and that was on my birthday. And I had really nothing to write in the letter except that, Swami, I love you. And oftentimes I would say that, everybody says happy birthday to me, but I don't think this is really a happy birthday, because yet another year has passed and I have not realized who I am. It is your responsibility to see to it that these kind of birthdays don't repeat. Meaning, soon I should be out of the cycle of birth and death. These are the kind of words. And I used to have a standard poem which I used to write, which I had heard. You are the thinker of my thoughts. You are the doer of my deeds. You are the speaker of my words. Guide me, guard me, protect me. I am you and you are me. Because this is what Swami used to often say. I am you and you are me. Let me realize this, O Lord. This is how my letter used to flow. And so I had held this letter, and if Swami wouldn't take it on that particular day, I would simply come back, tear it and throw it off, because I felt that this prayer had already reached Swami. On this one particular birthday in 2007, Swami again did not take this letter from me, and so I decided I'll tear this letter and throw it off. Until that evening, when I was coming back to hostel, and someone said that there was one Professor Sainath sir who used to live with Bhagwan for many years until Swami asked him to come and stay with us in the hostel. And so he used to often, just break into some this kind of a satsangh, and suddenly word would spread around saying, Sainath sir has started telling stories. And so we would all run to his room and try to catch up whatever we are missing and whatever he's telling us. So someone told me that Sainath sir has started speaking, and so I ran to Sainath sir's room, and the discussion that day is whether we should write letters to Swami or not. And so he told his experience. He said many years ago, they had a debate, couple of them. One of them said that there is no need to write a letter to Swami because Swami knows everything. The other party said that no, we must write a letter to Swami because it is our job our duty to convey to him. So this was the discussion. There was no conclusive, there was no judgment, there was nothing conclusive about that debate, and so both of them slept off. Next morning, when Sainath sir went to Mandir, Swami was in the interview room. Swami asked Sainath sir to come in. Sainath sir walks into the interview room, and what does he see? He sees a pile of letters next to Swami, and Swami is taking letters, and randomly most of the letters he's just throwing it into a dustbin, next to him, and some letters he's opening and reading. So Sainath sir is now wondering, what is this in his mind? Swami is simply throwing away half the letters even without reading. With how much of love those devotees must have written to Swami. And just as this thought was passing by, Swami looks up and said, what are you thinking? And so Swami has read his mind immediately, and so he's absolutely, aghast. And so Swami says, you are wondering why I am throwing letters like this. Come here. So, typically Swami is capable of doing anything. He could give you one. So he said, no Swami, I am very comfortable where I am. Swami said, no, you come here, pick a letter. So he came there and picked a letter. And Swami said, go back and read it to yourself, what the letter is about. So he opens, and it is a letter written to Bhagwan, which he is reading. It's a letter written by a Bengali gentleman who is conveying his thanks to Swami for curing his daughter. He had come there 3 months before, and as he was seated in the darshan line, Swami came and gave him some vibhuti. That vibhuti has cured his daughter, and he is writing this letter to thank Bhagwan. Swami, thank you so much for curing my daughter. He read this, and then Swami starts, Kya bolta hai wo Bengali gentleman? That is, what is that Bengali gentleman saying? He's saying that he had come over here, his daughter was not well, Swami gave him prasadam, and now he is very fine. And that is why he is thanking Swami. Swami, without reading the letter, simply read the contents of the letter. So here he was, simply again, one of those divine moments. So he said, Swami, you know everything that is written in the letter, isn't it? Then, is it necessary to write a letter to you? And then Swami says that, see, it was in response to your prayers that I have come down on earth. Because you wanted, I came down on earth. Now it is your responsibility to find reasons to come near me. And the only reason, how do you create reasons to go near Bhagwan? Write something in the letter and go close to Swami. Swami knows everything, but it is our duty to go close to him because it was in response to our prayers that he has come down. What a beautiful thought. And this was the thought that I had that I was left. And I said, okay, so this letter I am not going to tear away. I am going to find a reason to go close to Swami. And so I started holding it week after week after week. And just like he was talking about that soiled card, here was my letter, which had got absolutely soiled, and I rewrote the contents of that letter into couple of other times. But Swami would simply not take it. But I kept sitting because I said, no, this letter I am going to give it. And it was about 4 months after my birthday that one day out of the blue, Swami calls me in the bhajan hall and takes my letter and opens it and starts to read the whole letter. And it is a very thrilling moment because I have written some kind of statements in that, I have written something like, Master, you have to see to it that this is my last birth. I have given an ultimatum to Swami, so I was just looking at Swami's face. And as he goes through the letter, he comes up to this point, and then he shows me the letter and he underlines with his finger, I am you and you are me. And then Swami says, cultivate this feeling in your heart. And he patted me on my heart and said, develop this feeling of oneness. And then he folded back the letter, put it in my pocket and said, go frame it and read it every single day. Read this letter every single day. And it is this thought that I wanted to leave with you all, is that when we bond ourselves with Bhagwan, it will be a moment, it will be the most amazing relationship, no doubt. At the end of it, we will realize that in fact, there is no two. There is only one. That I am he and he is me.